Hi guys, it's Miss Melanie. Welcome back to the Crafting Corner. So today I am going to be showing you guys how to make some things out of model magic clay. So you can use this as decorations on your desk, at home in your office, also in your rooms and things like that. So this is an example of what it comes in. So this is in the color yellow. So it's just like a little packet and it's Crayola Model Magic. And then here's a blue one and also a white one. Some of these come in like these small packages. Some of them also come in like bigger packages, so it's up to you which one you guys want to get. So I'm just going to show you some of the examples, some of the things that I have done already, and then I'm going to show you guys how to make something today. So I made a little fish here, if you could see. So it's a little blue and white fish, and it has its little like fins, its little flappers, and its little tail. And I'm gonna demonstrate how to do like all three of these, like the little pieces and things. I'm just gonna show them to you guys first. For this one, this is a nice little heart. Well, it's not really little, but it's a nice heart. This one, I used more than 2 packs because I mixed the red and the white for the actual heart, and I like kneaded them in together so it would be like this nice reddish pinkish color. And then this is the back. There's not really anything on the back of it, but there's that. And then I used like little balls of white, and then I just stuck them on top all the way around. And then the last thing I made is a nice little starfish. So this one, I used 2 packs for this one too, and for the fish as well. So this one, I just made like little logs. Basically, I took the red and I made like little logs, and then I cut them up into 5 pieces, and I stuck them all together like in the middle right here. And then I took little white pieces like the balls, and I just stuck them on top. So what I am going to just demonstrate for you guys a little bit is for the fish. I'm going to show you guys some of the pieces that I had to make this one. So I'm going to use some of my blue clay here. So I'm going to bring this closer to me for an example. So I'm just basically going to separate this ball here because I don't need all of this. I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to roll it into a smaller ball. So I put it in between my 2 hands. You don't want to like mush it or like press hard on it. You just want to like roll it nice and easily into a ball. And then what I did with this one, once it's looking like this, for like the face of the fish, I used my index finger and my thumb, and I just flattened it out a little bit like this. And then with my 2 other fingers, I started to make like a nose. So I started to like pinch here, so it starts to come out like a little nose and like a face. So I started to pinch, just to make it like a little face. And make sure it's flat enough. You don't want it to be like a big ball. Push it out more. And yeah, so this is basically what my little fishy face looks like. So that's what I did for that part. Let's see. For like I'm not sure what you would call these. I guess like the fins. Yeah, I guess like the top and the bottom fins. I just took smaller pieces, actually. Ripped it off a little bit. A ball again. A lot of these things that you're gonna start off with are gonna be in the shape of a ball, and then you're gonna roll it and make it like flatter. So I'm just rolling this. So for the top fin, I rolled it into this little ball, and then I'm just gonna roll it out with my index finger. So it's starting to look like a little log or rope type of thing. And then what I did for this part up here is I just basically like bent it, and once I put it on top of the fish, I flattened it out. So I flattened it out like that. And then for like the little lines, I used a pencil, and then I just went like this and made like little marks on it. So you can make, honestly, you can make whatever types of marks you want, but that's what I did. So it's like a nice little flat fin on top. And the same thing for the bottom. So we would just do the same thing, and would just be on the bottom. And then let's see, for the fins themselves, like their little, I guess what we would consider arms basically. So I took another piece, rolled it into a ball, flattened it out, and one side I wanted to push out some more than the other. Push out one side, push out that side, and then make it, it's kind of like the head, but it's smaller. And I just pushed it. So it's like a little tip on this side, and then the other side is like a nice kind of like a semicircle, but not really. So it looks kind of like this. All right, so now let's move on to the heart. For the heart, I used, like I said, I used more than 2 packages. So I used the red and I used the white, and I used like both of all of them. So I used this package, 1 white and then 1 red, and I just mixed them so it's this nice color here. And then basically what I did is I just pressed my 2 fingers in to make this little point at the top of the heart here. And then I just molded the clay to make it look like a heart. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's clay. And then for the balls, once I had my heart basically like this, for the balls, these are bigger, so I broke off bigger pieces. So I just broke off some pieces like this, a few of them. I'm just going to show you guys a few. And then I basically just rolled them into little balls. You can do a few at once if you want. Roll them so they look like as much as balls as you can. Like that. I'm going to do one more. So these are like what the little balls look like. And then I just basically just stuck them on top and just went around the whole heart. And they do stick, so that's the good part. And then for my starfish here, I'm going to use, I have a little bit of extra red so I can show you guys what I did for the logs. I'm going to pull some of this out here. So the little balls on top are basically the same for the heart as they are for the starfish. They're just a little smaller. But for these logs here, so starting with this, starting with the ball, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll it out so it would kind of look like a snake, like a nice, it'll be like a thick snake, but so I rolled it out so it looks kind of like this. And then what I did, I took some scissors, but if you wanted to, you could use a plastic knife and like saw them into little pieces. So I took them and I actually cut 6 of them, but you're only gonna need 5 so you can put the other one to the side. So I just cut them in little pieces like this. So that's the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So that one I don't need. So I have my 5 little pieces here. And then I just started with like one of these. I took it and then I basically rolled it out just a little bit more, just so it's a little flatter. And then what I did was one side I wanted to make it, if you can see, it's a little like curvy and it gets skinnier towards the end. So I wanted to make one side like that, and one side is gonna be like really chunky so I can attach the rest of the little log pieces. So this right here is the skinnier side, and I curved it a little bit, and then this is like the chunkier side. So that's what this looks like. And then I did the same thing for the rest of them. So it's just a few logs that I attached together. So one side is skinnier, and the bigger side I attached just like this, and I pushed them in together. So it looks kind of like this. So this is the start of it, and then once you're done and you keep going, it's gonna look like this once you attach all of your little logs together. And at the end, what I just did is I wanted to make sure that they were curly like this. So I just like bent them whichever way I wanted to make them look. And then with the little balls, they're really small. So I just literally took as the smallest pieces I could get, and I just rolled them into little balls. And then I just stuck them on like that. So that's what it would start to look like. All right, so now guys, what I'm going to actually show you how to make is I'm gonna show you how to make a turtle. So let me put this one back over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my white. Don't worry, I know it's white. It's gonna be green later. But I'm gonna take this, I'm going to rip off a piece for the head. So for the head, we're going to make it into a nice circle. Might need a little less than that. Guys, depending on how big you want your turtle or whatever you're making, might have to take a little more or add a little more clay. So I'm gonna roll it out like this to make a nice circle, like this, nice little ball. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for some more of this. This is gonna be for the shell. So I'm gonna take this and I'm going to roll it. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Yes. Roll it into a ball. And what I'm gonna do now is, since this is in the ball and it's gonna be the shell, so it has like that nice semicircle type of look, is I'm gonna take one of my fingers, I'm gonna use my index finger, I'm gonna poke it right in like that, so it's like on my finger. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mold it around my finger, so it starts to look kind of like a shell. You don't wanna push your finger too far in here because you don't want it to go through and then you have a hole on top, but you just push it in enough so that you can get the shape of your finger to kind of make it look like a shell. So I'm just molding this around my finger to make the shell. Okay. And then when I slip it off, it looks kind of like this. And then the hole on the inside. All right, so like I showed you guys before, this is our little, you can make it bigger, smaller, thicker, however you want to do it. But now I'm going to put together the little head and the shell together. So I'm just going to stick them together. The head is going to be basically at the bottom of the shell. So this is what it looks like. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip off little pieces for the legs. So we're going to have 4 legs. So 1 little piece, 2 little pieces, 3, and then 4. So these I'm just going to make them I'm gonna roll them a little bit to make them look kind of like legs. So I'm gonna roll it into like a little ball first and then roll it out to like a little log. So the ball. There's different ways you can make the legs, but I'm just doing it this way because it seems like the easiest way for me. And the last one, kind of into a little ball, and then roll it out. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, after I have like these little pieces, I'm gonna attach one to the bottom front right side. Then I'm going to take another one to the back right side, and then the other two on the left. Same way I placed them on the right. So it kind of looks like this. And then that's what it looks like on the bottom. Alright, so now since I have all of my pieces together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my green marker and I'm going to color my turtle. So I'm going to turn it this way and I'm going to start with the head. So I'm just going to take my marker, start coloring. Might feel a little awkward because it's already together, but that's okay. You want to make sure that you don't get a bunch of ink on your hands. For some of these, you might have to wait and let them dry because you really don't want to get ink on your fingers. It's not fun. Okay. Gotta get around on the head. Might have to turn it a few different ways to get the whole head. If you wanted to use different shades of green, you could do the same thing. If you wanted to color the shell a different color, you could do that too. Okay, the head is almost done. Last little part here. Okay, so this is basically one of my little legs got on top of the shell. But this is basically what his little head looks like. So I colored it. So now I am going to work on the shell. The shell might start to get out of shape. So you might need to like fix it, like put your finger back in and shape it the way you want it to again. Okay, so now I'm gonna start on his shell. Shell is a little bigger, so you're gonna have to take your time. And after I do this part on the shell, I'm gonna draw like the little hexagon type of design on it so it looks more like a shell of a turtle. Like I said, it might feel awkward trying to color it because of the type of animal this is, but just do the best you can. Okay, moving towards his back now. This way. Moving his leg in the back because they got attached. Alright, I'm gonna start, since I can't touch like right here yet since it's not dry, I'm gonna do the 2 legs on the right side since I don't have to touch anything for that. So I'm just gonna start coloring this one on this side. And the good thing about this turtle is that it's all one color, so I don't have to get multiple colors. Okay, so I did that one in the front. Now we got the one in the back. Alright, now I'm going to start and do the one on the other side since I don't have to touch those either. So this is the left side. I'm doing arms and legs. And the last one in the back. Hopefully it should be a little more dry so I can pick it up and finish the back of the shell. Okay, my guy's looking good. If you want to color the bottom, you can, you don't have to. I'm trying to get as much of his body as I can on top. Okay. So now, after this is done, I got all of his legs and his arms. So now I'm gonna let him sit for a minute while I get my black marker. And with my black marker, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw his little eyes and like a little smiley face. And then on his shell, I'm going to draw like the design. If you guys seen a turtle shell, it's kind of like a hexagon and then a bunch of little hexagons around it. So that's what I'm gonna do. His head is mostly dry, so I'm just gonna do his eyes real quick. So I'm gonna put one here. It just is gonna be little dots. One there. And then a cute little smiley face. Alright, so that's what that looks like on the front. And then on his shell, like I said, I'm gonna do the hexagon thing. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna do one hexagon in the middle. Then I'm gonna do another one just to fill up his shell. Then these lines here. And go this way to his left side. Little lines here. In the back now. Now we're back on his right side, and he's almost done. Okay. So let's see if we can pick him up from the bottom. Okay. So this is what my little guy is looking like. So he has a cute little smiley face in the front. And then, like I said on the shell, I just did like some hexagons to like make the design of like their shell. So this is what my little guy looks like here, and I have colored all the legs and everything. So that's what he looks like. So he's gonna join my examples up here. So I hope you guys really enjoyed doing this with me. I had a lot of fun playing with clay, kind of like Play-Doh. I hope you guys have fun, enjoy this video. Hope you guys try it at home with your family and friends and have lots of fun making different things. So I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye guys.